Coppell High School, Stanford, third overall pick, the 2017 draft, signing on with the Cowboys here just a month ago. Solomon Thomas joining us now on your home of the Cowboys. And a good afternoon, sir. How the heck are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing wonderful, thank you. Well, congrats on coming to play for the hometown team, man. That's got to be exciting for you and your family.
It's so exciting, just growing up in Coppell and then, having a career where I haven't played in Dallas since high school and coming back in my 9th year at NFL is it's like a dream come true. So, happy to come home, happy to be a Cowboy. It's all been amazing.
Now, being the new guy, being a veteran, how do you look at leadership coming into a situation like this? Are you that guy?
Definitely. You can be a leader and not say much. That's a misconception in sports and in life. Sometimes people think leaders are the loudest ones. As a new guy, I always like to come in and prove myself. I want to come in, do things the right way, show the young guys how to work, how I take myself seriously, how I take this job seriously, and then just go from there. Lead by example first. Then, when I start knowing everyone, understanding the team, understanding the dynamic, then I can, speak a little bit more. But I always come in, leading by example first and earning your stripes, no matter how long you've been in the league.
Well, we're pumped to have you. You also get to come into the Cowboys with your former defensive line coach, Aaron Whitecotton, both of you coming over from the Jets. What can you tell us about him and how he's helped you really have some of the best seasons of your career?
Yeah, Coach Whitecotton's been amazing to me. I'm so thankful for him, his family. I'm thankful for the way he's believed in me and he's pushed me. He's definitely gotten the best out of me. But, Coach Whitecotton, he's extremely passionate. He loves his game and he loves his D linemen, and he's gonna ride for them no matter what. So, one thing he's gonna do, he's gonna get the best out of every single player on the D line. He's gonna make us play with effort, violence, passion, and he's gonna make us show it every day. And that's one thing about him. He gets the best out of his players, but he's also good at having us understand what we're getting, like what block schemes we're getting, what the team's tendencies are. He's just an overall great coach, mentally and physically, and the guys we're very lucky to have him.
How's he do it? Is he a loud guy, or does he get quiet and give you an inspiring message? How does he go about it?
I would say in the meeting room he's more relaxed. Like, he's just a coach, and sometimes he's a coach who can relate to players. He's a little younger. He's under 40, but he's also can relate to the guys. He's very loud. He's going to be the loudest coach out there, probably screaming the most. Sometimes the players might not like it, but at the end of the day, we understand that it's out of love, and after every single game, every single season, guys love him. No matter how much he yells, we love him because he cares about us and he wants us to be our best.
Hey, Solomon, I really did enjoy watching your tape with the Jets, and I've said this on our station a couple different times. I thought you were one of the best signings that they've absolutely had here in a while because of the way that you play, though. And you mentioned Coach Whitecotton. What did he really unlock from you? It's your pass rush stuff has always been really, really good, but the run stuff, the way that you play run defense, it seemed like you just on film take a lot of pride in the way you play that way.
Definitely. I catch a lot of criticism being the undersized guy without guys even watching my film. Scott's around the league will just go ahead and say that I can't play the run because of my size. And I feel like I've proven that over the last 3 years, especially playing primarily inside at my size and playing a lot of double teams and beating a lot of double teams. But Coach Whitecotton, just the way he takes his drills into practice in the games. It's everyday repetition. It's nonstop details. He's never going to let off. He doesn't have favorites. He coaches everyone the same. But the biggest thing for me that he instilled in me, he believed in me. I hadn't always had that in my career.
Sure.
It started with Chris Eric and Sam Fran my last year. I only had 1 year with him. Then was extremely lucky to play with Marinelli. But then when I got to Whitecotton, just flourished. That belief, that love, that passion he showed me, just had me know that I can go play football and I belong here. And he really got that out of me.
Talking with Cowboys defensive tackle Solomon Thomas here in the GBAG Nation. What are the early returns on new head coach Brian Schottenheimer?
Man, I'm loving Coach Schotty right now. He's from the Pete Carroll tree, and he loves his players and his players love him. Really, really buying into that team bonding right now. He wants the guys to love each other. He wants the guys to play for each other. Because if you want to win a Super Bowl, which is our goal, it's everyone's goal in that building, you have to love the guys in the room. You have to be able to understand them and fight for them on the good days and the bad. You don't get through losses without having the right guys in the building or the guys having your back. You don't make it into the playoffs, playing a long season, 17 games, plus 4 or 5 weeks of camp, plus 3 preseason games without having guys have your back and understand that culture. So he's getting the culture right, but he's also his theme right now is compete every day, and that's what we're doing. We're getting better. We're working hard. We're understanding each other and loving each other.
Hey, Solomon, is there any pressure coming back home and playing for a team that, in a city where you grew up?
I definitely would have said so earlier in my career, but now going into year 9, knowing how it goes, knowing how to handle myself, understanding the game more mentally than physically at this point in my career, I don't feel the pressure. It's a joy to be home. It's a joy to be in the city. I've seen Cowboys fans and their reactions the last, 9, 15 years of my life, and I'm excited to make them good ones this year, and it's going to be fun.
It's Solomon Thomas here, obviously Cowboys defensive lineman, also co-founder of The Defensive Line, a nonprofit that champions student-athlete mental health, just partnered with the GED Foundation, which is a national nonprofit protecting emotional health and preventing suicide for teens and young adults. So congrats on that partnership, Solomon. How long has mental health been a focus for you?
It's been a focus of mine for about 7-8 years now. Unfortunately, I lost my sister to suicide in 2018, and I didn't know much about mental health before that. I was a football player. I was in the locker room where you don't talk about emotions. You don't talk about these things. Mental health is a feeling you can get over. That was my mentality, but after I lost my sister, I went through my own mental health battle, and, I learned that mental health is real. It's a disease just like any other disease. It's where your brain is not getting the right chemical imbalance, whether you're not blocking enough cortisol or getting enough serotonin, it is real. And I learned the power in therapy, the power in crying, the power in owning your emotions, and just understanding yourself and always learning and being curious about who you are and loving yourself, understanding that it's okay not to be okay. So from that, the last 8 years, I've gone around talking about my story, my sister's story, talking about how, I'm in this gladiator sport, and my life may look perfect, but it's not. And, that's okay. And if someone can see me, a professional athlete, can struggle, hopefully they know that it's okay to struggle too, that they can get through whatever they're getting through, and that there's light on the other side of the dark storm that they're going through.
How much stress and mental health adversity do you think the average NFL player is dealing with, or how prevalent is that around the league?
I don't think there's a player that doesn't experience it. We're very blessed. We make a lot of money. We play in a dream that we've always dreamed of in, and I'm not taking that away. But the stress of this league, the performance you're under all the time, the public scrutiny, not knowing if people love you for the right reasons, if people want to be with you for the right reasons, nonstop, that is a mental health grind on its own, and it's never ending while you're in this league, while you have that label. So I think guys go through it all the time. And then also on top of that, you can get cut, traded, your career could in the snap of your fingers, and you don't know what's next. Because in this game, if you don't put everything in the game of football, you won't be in the NFL. So that's the mental stress of it. So I think all the guys go through it, but it's about letting the guys know it's okay to go through it, and it's okay to get help, and it's okay to feel these things, and it's okay to talk about them. Because when we're vulnerable and we talk about them, then we all can kind of go through experience that, hey, you're going through that, I'm going through it too. And then we feel more human, and then that weight is lifted off our shoulders. But I think every NFL player goes through mental health at some point. It's just about knowing that they have the right support system and that it's okay for them to go through it.
How many pounds of crawfish did you put down the other day?
I was eating with my boy Tenzel. I played with him with the Jets. He's now a coach in the D-line. And he's from New Orleans, but he's from Baton Rouge. But I was trying to impress him. So I think he put down around close to 2 pounds. I put down 1.5.
So you talked
That's
about
light work.
That is. I was expecting a little bit more. But when it comes to playing for one another, who have you bonded with so far along the defense?
Definitely some guys in the line right now, like Osa, Sam Williams, Peyton Turner. I could really name all the guys right now, but it's been fun to just play with them. Just get to see how they work, their leadership, their styles, how they mess with each other in the locker room. That kind of stuff has been fun. So, we have a good D-line room already, and I'm excited about it because we're just going to grow, and it's going to be great.
Solomon, is there any action steps regarding the defensive line of the GED Foundation to pass along to the audience before we let you go?
just if you go check us out at thedefensiveline.org, we are doing so much good work. My parents have altered their lives to make this their life mission, to make sure that no one else dies by suicide or no one else feels the pain that my family feels. So I would say, go to thedefensiveline.org, check us out on Instagram, on at thedefensiveline, and just show your support. We're doing great work. We're a small, young nonprofit. We have, I think we have 6 employees max, and we're doing our best to change the world. So we would love any support, any donations, a follow, a retweet, a like. It all means so much to a small nonprofit, and I'm very thankful for the Jet Foundation for their partnership and their work. They're an unbelievable nonprofit that has shown the way. So that would be great.
Well, God bless you and your family, man. Thanks for sharing. Great to get to know you more, and we'll see you in Oxnard, sir.
Sounds great. Thank you guys so much.